Hi guys, PJ here again, back at it with another PC video. This one, the Call of Duty World War II multiplayer beta, and we are looking at all the options and settings. Also a little bit about all the stuttering problems some of you guys may have been having. I know I certainly have, but hey ho, let's start going through some of these settings and see what's available to us for customization. So I'll leave graphics till last because it is the big one, yeah. Your system info there is just going to have your NAT type and stuff like that. We don't really need to go into that. Voice, obviously you've got your record level there, your pickup threshold, push to talk, enabled, disabled, and mute all players. Text chat, enabled, disabled. Very straightforward. Controls, I had a bit of a bug with this particular one. Once on gamepad, I found in-game I couldn't switch back to mouse keyboard. You know, normally you seamlessly go from, you put your controller down and move your mouse and it'll take over. This game didn't, it just wanted to stay on controller. Although the mouse would work on menus, it would not do it in game. A bit weird. I tried a DS4 PlayStation controller. That worked natively, no problem. However, for myself it was showing up the Xbox button prompts instead of the DS4 button prompts. Could be tied to the fact I've just done the Windows Creator update, and that seems to have caused havoc with lots of things. So that might be one for you guys to report back on for me. So drop it in the comments below if you're showing native DS4 controller prompts or not. That would be quite useful. Thank you. Right, so gamepad options we have enable, disable, obviously. Stick layouts, etc. There's all your options there. Look, we can go on the sensitivities all the way up to this insane level there that we've got. But I think the default was normal high or normal 4. There we go. It goes all the way down to very, very slow, which you wouldn't want. There you go, look, very low. Yeah, no good. In fact, the normal, I found medium 4 was far too slow. I mean, obviously you're competing against people that have got mouse keyboard, so I'd whack that up to some of the high settings personally. And there we go. There's all your options for that. Let's go back. There's the bottom option there. Look. You can change all these on and off as you wish. Key bindings. I'm just going to turn gamepad off so we can go into those. Disable. There we go. Go back to mouse. And we've got key bindings. There's all your key bindings for everything. There's not many. It doesn't scroll down too far. Yeah, it's just a few. Your normal WSAD for movement, etc. That's the bottom one there. Change stance. C. So if we go back. Mouse settings there, you've got your normal sensitivity options, ADS, and invert mouse, etc. Okay, so if we just go back to controller for my laziness here, there we go. Ooh, enable, thank you. So sit back, and what we got next, we have audio. This was a bit bare bones for me. I was expecting a bit more, to be honest with you. It's probably because I'm used to some of the other games that are coming out recently. But you've got your normal volume there, your master volume, your music, enable, disable, and all the rest of them are enable, disable. There is nothing at all that goes into 5.1, 7.1, you know, or just stereo, or it may be an option for just headsets. You know, if you're wearing a headset. A lot of games you do see that now. You see the option for, you know, TV speakers or hi-fi or headset. There's nothing. I'm quite surprised. I mean, the sound effects aren't bad. You know, the period, they do the job. They're not bad sounding, to be honest. The game isn't, but would like a bit more flexibility here. Not a bit bare bones. Anyway, minor grumble. Let's get on to graphics. And here is where I have conferred with a few other PC gamers and realised things are a bit off, shall we say. Right, display mode. Usual options, you've got full screen, windowed and borderless. Okay, I won't flick over them on this menu because it actually interrupts my camera and will stop me recording. So, with that, brightness, show blood and mini-map rotation. Optimal video, I won't show you that one either because I pressed optimal video when I first loaded the game and guess what? It crashed. It locked up solid. All I had was a constant noise tone and I had to press and hold power. Never a good thing to do when your hard drive lights are flickering on and off. So, it must be one for me, I guess. Okay, so advanced video. We have your display adapter that you're going to be using. If you've got more than one, obviously you can pick between them. Your display mode, as I mentioned earlier, there's your options. Monitor, I've also got this plugged into a 4K HDR TV, which is currently running. Is it running? Cuphead on Xbox at the moment. It's I was playing that earlier on. Very interesting game, but still. So there you go. Monitor, TV, etc. Refresh rate 75 or 60. This monitor's clocked to 75. Obviously, you'll go to 144 for you guys and other settings as well. Sync every frame on and off. I leave it off because my monitor is FreeSync. It's not needed. And maximum FPS. Now this bit's laughable. It goes all the way down to 30 as such. And it goes all the way up to 250. But I'm going to show you some gameplay in a second. Not very good gameplay. I was concentrating on the readouts that I've got going on the screen, but the readout showed my FPS was going from 32 to 112 or something like that. It was all over the place. This micro stuttering, it makes the game near enough unplayable for me. I was using controller whilst doing the monitoring, and even on controller it was hopeless. On mouse keyboard it was worse because obviously everything's much faster, reactions and everything, your movement, it was even worse. So for me, they need to fix that. They need to patch it quick. If we flip over to the gameplay, so you can see, I mean, it will show you I'm using about 11 or 12 gigabytes of normal RAM out of 16, and you use between 3 and 4 gigabytes of VRAM with this video settings that I've got here. Have a look. I'll switch over right now and see what you think. I won't leave it off long.
Contact enemy taking C! Looking for! Closing with Anton! Capturing Beta!
They're in the security station!
Out of ammo! Incoming enemy artillery! Get to cover! Capturing Beta! Enemy recon aircraft in the air! Enemy bomb incoming! Get to cover! Enemy capturing Kaiser!
Yeah, a bit of a stuttery mess, isn't it? Now, I've even tried limiting the frame rate using the Radeon controller panel, which is a bit like you guys do with your GeForce cards. You know, you can limit your frame rates and everything, and it still doesn't really help it, to be honest. It's still all over the place, so it's clearly a bug. Spoke to 2 other people. One of them has got an i7 on a GTX 1080 non-TI model, and he's getting stuttering no matter what resolution he's running. And on the other end of the scale, I've got somebody with a GTX 1060 3GB running on an i3, and that's smooth. God knows what's going on there. I mean, that's weird. This is a full AMD system, aging a bit now. It's the old 8350 at 4.2, but games installed on an SSD, it's recording on another SSD, and Windows is installed on another SSD, so there shouldn't really be any bottlenecks. I don't get it. Must be something to do with the coding, or I don't know, maybe latency, but it's a weird one if it is. Anyway, moving on. Aspect ratio 21:9 auto, standard 4:3, 16:10, 16:9. FOV goes all the way down to 65. There we go, that's the bottom one, and all the way up to 90. I found 75 was okay. Not great, you know, wider the better sort of thing, but there you go. Display resolution goes all the way down to 640 by 480, I think. Yeah, that's right. And obviously, if you've got it plugged into the right device, I had 4K showing for my TV earlier on. And what we got here, render resolution. This is taxing, guys, so you know, bump this up at your peril. If you have got a high-end graphics card, sort of GTX 1070, AMD Vega, GTX 1080, yeah, push it. Cool, as long as your game doesn't stutter, that is. But for me, I just left it on native. Like I say, my card's not the youngest out of the block anymore, so it ran nice at native, it looked nice at native, I was happy with that. This one, pre-T2X resolution. This is a little bit like, the best way of describing it, checkerboarding on a PlayStation Pro. It's like that, sort of. Not as taxing as doing the render resolution, but still pretty taxing. So again, I left that one at native. You can whack it up, look, yeah, 50% there, look, 75%, etc. So that's your pre-res, yeah. I mean, I left it standard, like I say, but you can go down a little checkerboard or render it up if you like to your actual res. Not really into that sort of fuzzy. Post-process anti-aliasing, we have some good ones here, isn't there? There's the filmic one, which is recommended. I don't like it, just fuzzy shadow edges for me, not keen. Anything filmic, no. There you go, SMA8012 FXAA and off, so there's your options. I'll go for that one. Texture options, we have extra is the top setting for all these, and you got high, normal, low. Okay, and save for that one, and extra, high, normal, low. Yeah, full remaining memory. This supports, it improves overall performance but may interfere with other graphics intensive programs. Who in the right mind would run a graphics intensive program while trying to play Call of Duty on a PC? Really? Anyway, moving on. Shader preload, on and off. Yes, it takes longer to load. I didn't really notice it too much, to be honest with you. It loads really quick on an SSD, so there's not really a problem there. I know some of the other COD games, if you do that, it can take longer to load. This one was pretty good though overall, pretty quick. Seconds, you know, not minutes. Anisotropic filtering, we have low, normal and high, and shadows on off. We also have shadow map resolution. There you go, extra, high, normal being the lowest. Yeah, I think I had it on normal. There we go. Sun shadow bit depth, again high being the only other option, normal and high, that's it. Screen space reflections, always on, auto on or off. It's a nice thing to have on, but it is taxing. So I switched that off while trying to sort out the stuttering FPS problem that I've got, but didn't do anything at all, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem to be related to the video settings. I mean, I dropped this down to 640 by 480 or whatever it was, and I was still getting the random FPS issues that went all the way down to low 30s all the way up to the max 250. So it isn't that. It's nothing to do with graphics settings. Weird. Screen space reflections on and off, and cache sun shadow maps off and on. Depth of field, you got your normal, your low and off, high being the high setting. Screen space ambient occlusion, there's your options. You got a couple on here I've never heard of. Hemi to me is a big American muscle car. That's what a Hemi is. I don't know. Off. GTA, strange. And GTA low, so we've got low and high GTA. Weird terminology. Oh well. HBAO plus, I've heard of that one. And this Hemi. Okay, they must admit they didn't seem to make any real performance impact going through those when I tried them in game, so pick which one you like the best. Medium distance ambient occlusion on and off, and subsurface scattering on and off. There you go. Okay, so that was all your advanced video, and that is every option that this currently has. Now, whether they'll patch any more in for the release, to be honest, I doubt it. None of the other Call of Duties have they really? They need to solve this stuttering problem. If you're getting the stuttering problem, you know, drop it below, stick it in the comments section with your spec. I'm trying to get an idea if it's like specific systems or specific specs that have got this problem, or is it just a case of the PC version is not going to be very good? Again, I mean, certainly for me, I've tried all the versions, and PlayStation Pro version was the best to play. Simple as that. Smooth, nice, looks pretty good. Controller, and I'm a PC-centric player at heart, so for me to say that, that's quite something. Hey ho, the joys of PC gaming. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again next time.